Good evening, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another night of My Life Has Destiny podcast, where I am one of your hosts. Y'all know me, Quint Jones, my sister, the other host over there, Coco Fenton. Look, y'all, we are here on tonight. We are gonna do Q&A because we have not done it in a while. However, we need y'all to be nice to us on tonight. We need y'all to understand that we will only be up here for about an hour. We are sorry, but I know y'all understand. So we're gonna do this. I just want to say I pray that everybody had a blessed and prosperous day on today. I pray that everybody is doing well, that you have goals for the week. I want to know if you type a question before you ask your question. I want to know what your passion is because everybody should have a passion. Everybody should have a goal that they're working towards. Everyone should have a why because if you don't, then you don't have a purpose. You're sitting on a seat of do nothing and you're procrastinating and you're saying you're waiting on God. And in this season, we're not doing that because God is opening up some major doors. And we have been talking about this open heaven and getting in a posture to receive since last year. So please, before you ask your question, I need you to answer what's your passion? And then, and I'm going to ask next week, I want you all to write a note to yourself stating your goal, stating what your passion is, stating what your why is, stating when you're going to achieve this, and mail it to yourself. And when you're ready to give up, don't open the envelope, but when you're ready to give up, that's when you open that envelope and you stay dedicated and committed to yourself. You stay dedicated and committed to your why. Okay? That's your homework assignment. I had to do it. And when I tell you it worked for me, when I was ready to give up, it really, really worked for me. So now I'm passing it on to you. So before we go into Q&A, Coco.
Hey y'all. Um, listen, I'm beat today, y'all. Um, I had a long day. Um, Good day, productive day, but a long day. So, um, I ain't put in a day like this in a long time, y'all. So, um, this body here is wore out today. Okay. Um, but nonetheless, we're gonna have some Q&A with y'all tonight. We haven't done Q&A in a while. Um, and then we're gonna be out of y'all way until next week. So going forward next week, it'll be Monday and Sunday. Okay, not Monday and Thursday, Monday and Sunday. Okay. Um, Monday at what 8, 9? Is that a 9?
That's a 9. Eight
Okay,
thirty, 9 o'clock ish.
I just saw
Anywhere.
two. I'm sorry, I just saw two fingers in the shadow. You know, so yeah. Okay,
8:30, 9 o'clock ish, y'all.
okay.
So it just
So
depends on what the traffic is looking like. I don't want to tell y'all 8 o'clock and then the traffic and I'm stuck for like 2 hours on a standstill highway as usual. So 8:30, 9 o'clock ish.
okay, okay. So Sunday, more than likely 6, because I don't want to go late on y'all on a Sunday when
Neither.
we don't have to. But Sunday is my most laid back day
Mm-hmm.
out of my week. So Sunday we could do it 6, so that you guys can get on. have some good times with us, and go about y'all day with y'all families,
Yes.
right? Since Sunday is what I call fellowship day.
Yes.
So, um, yeah. And then I know a lot of y'all are preparing for y'all hallelujah nights and all of that stuff coming up, right? Either way, whether it's at a church or whether some of y'all still take y'all kids around to people's houses, be careful, please. Be careful not only going to knocking on doors, but be careful as to what you are allowing your children to consume. There are people out here who plan on putting laced candy in some of the kids' bags. So I'm putting the fair warning out there from what they have been posting, saying that people are talking about doing this foolishness. So I know it's hard to do because you can't check your children stuff like that, but just be careful as to what you give your babies. All right. So um yeah, especially when you go to these people's houses and a lot of the stuff is homemade, or if you get these candies that look regular but don't look regular, stuff look like it was put in another package, just be careful. All
Mhm.
right. Okay, so let's get started tonight, y'all. Out there.
Okay.
Okay. First question of the night. If you have ever been to if you have ever been to theology or seminary school, does it take a long time to finish, and is it worth it? Okay, yes, I have actually been through theology school. Um, it does not take a long time. It actually depends on the degree that you want as far as the amount of time that it will take. Um, Whether it's worth it or not is kind of up to you because it depends on your level of knowledge that you want to receive. If you are a person that's going to choosing to go to theology school due to the knowledge that you can gain from it, it'll be well worth it. But if you are a person that's going to go because your church is saying that you have to go to theology school in order to be in leadership, I mean, you have to figure out your own take on that. Um, I mean, there are a lot of churches that don't do that too much anymore. Um, but some of them do still require it. Just depends on the type of leadership that you under and what they say their requirements are. If you are under that house and you obey the rule of that particular leader, then you do whatever they tell you to do in order to obtain whatever it is you're trying to obtain. So that's all I can really say about that part.
And can I say what you put in it is what you're going to get out of it?
Yeah.
So if you're going just because you want to be able to um, argue the Bible, if you're not going for the right reasons,
Yeah.
what you put in is what you're going to get out. So I would say if you're doing it because you want to further your relationship with the Lord, you want more knowledge, go.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it and you're not feeling comfortable, you don't think you should have to go, don't go. Don't allow anyone to push you into something that you're not ready for.
And let me say this, there is a big difference between theology school and seminary school. Does not teach the same way. Curriculum is different. And the curriculum is broke down different. The Bible is taught different in a theology school and seminary. So not the same thing, by the way. So
So, you asked that question. I hope you're still there. What's your passion?
to learn the word,
Okay, awesome. But why do you want to learn it?
just to learn the word.
Okay, well, you can, there's online free courses.
There's online free theology classes too, Bible classes. So you don't have to kick out student loans to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I would say start with that if you just want to learn the word, and that's your passion, and make sure you're getting in the word and not just once a week,
Yeah.
once a month. Take time out and get in the word. Okay. Next.
No, my major was theology, of course. My minor um, was Christian counseling. So it just depends on what you want to do and how you want to do it. You know, most universities they will want you to take a major and a minor. So yeah,
So the apostle has completed. And no, I did not complete.
yeah, yeah. I completed. I have a good. They're trying to get me to go back for my master's, but I keep refusing it. So I'm not doing that. That takes a lot of time and years I don't want to put in. So I'm just gonna be honest. I don't have to have a master's to do anymore. So I'm good.
Hey, Sinette.
You said it might be good for everyone to learn and understand. Need to start. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean you got to
start
start
with the
with the
Bible.
actual word first. Yeah, I mean, um, in order
Don't.
to break down the word, you got to be trying to learn that first. But
Hmm.
if you're trying to go from not even actually picking up the Bible that you say you got at home to trying to go to school to learn it, yeah, that's not gonna work.
Mm-mm.
Not gonna work at all. So yeah. Um, but yeah, if I would say do some of the free Bible ones just so you can. I mean, you'll go through an actual class and a
Hmm.
course. You take quizzes and everything at the end, and you get certificates, and they're
And
free.
they give you mentors.
Yeah, and they're free, and you don't have to rack up the student loans.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't want to have to pay back student loans for something that you're not going to use.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
At all.
you know, what kind of job can you get with a theology degree? Chaplain. I mean, you can work in people churches, yes, of course. Um, but as far as like, chaplains at hospitals, uh I forgot exactly what the actual technical job term is, um, for you to utilize it at a prison, because it's not the same thing as a chaplain. You're called something else. If you have a biblical degree and you work at a prison, I don't remember what the technical
But
job term is
you
for.
can actually Google
Yeah,
it, and it will give you a list of jobs and the pay grades.
yeah. Because now it seems like you're looking for more than just trying to learn a word.
Yes.
Um, so
So if you're doing it just for money,
yeah,
you're not going into the right profession. So, um,
it's no fun. It's no fun being a chaplain because you got to get people bad news all the time.
right.
No fun being a chaplain, and I mean the stuff at the prison. You got to be able to give people real spiritual guidance. You're talking about people who might be spending the rest of their life behind bars. You got to be able to give them the right leadership, ability, things to say. And if you don't have the right things to say, then that would not work. Here's the reason why the theology and counseling kind of fused together. Um, yeah.
And if
So
you go in with the mindset of judging, the jail is not for you because you have so many people in for so many different reasons. And if you're looking down on them, that's
Yeah,
not a profession for you.
for
So
you. Yeah.
weigh out your pros and cons in going into this and figure out exactly what you're going into this for, because you
Mhm.
got to give heart service and not just mind service.
Right.
You have to have
Anything,
compassion for the people. It's just like being in the healthcare field. If you're in it for the money, you're
yeah,
in the
you're in
wrong
it for the wrong
profession.
reasons. Same thing with being a chaplain. With being a chaplain, you got to go talk to people's families that the person is about to die. You gotta, most of the time when they send a chaplain to somebody in the hospital, somebody ain't well.
Right.
They don't expect a person to make it out of the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
kind of situation. And so if you don't have the compassion to be able to, or the sympathetic heart to be able to kind of get down on their level and put yourself in their shoes, kind of situation, this is not it.
Sinette is asking, I hear the term make sure you have the right Bible. What's the right Bible? Um,
Oh,
I
yeah,
like the Schofield Bible. I like the Joel Osteen's Bible. Sinette, if I was you, because the Joel Osteen Bible really break it down for you, I would go with that or the amplified version.
yeah. I was gonna say there are different translations for
Yeah.
everybody.
Yes.
My favorite is the message. It hit you
I
hard with a
love
punch.
the Message Bible too.
It hit you hard with a punch. The message Bible talks to me like I talk to people. Catch
Mhm.
what I'm trying to say. So,
It's
um,
rude.
it really, it really likes. I mean, it just really depends on you per se.
Hmm.
As far as your what translation kind of works for you.
But if you get a different translation, still use the King
The King
James
James, because
version
we don't
so
need to
you
know
will
what
know what
the
it's saying.
actual scriptures mean. All of these different translations is wonderful, but if you don't know what the real version means, no. Learn the King James first, the do's, the thous, and the brethrens, and all of that. We know that some people don't like it, and that's okay. But you know, you can get a parallel Bible though.
Yeah.
Parallel Bible, you can get King James with another version in it.
And some of
So
them have. I have one that has all four versions: the New
yeah.
King James, the
So,
King
but
James.
parallel Bibles are good. So you can get the
Yeah.
King James and whatever
Hmm.
translations can go together. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
So that's that. All right. So that
Yeah.
was a good first question though.
Yeah. That was
Um
great. But
uh
really weigh out your pros and cons. Whoever that was, weigh
yeah.
out your pros and cons and make sure you're in it for the for good reason and not just for money.
Ooh, I was literally just having this conversation with somebody earlier.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you
Well, I'm
answer.
glad it's the second question and not the last one. So we're gonna go ahead and take it.
I'm gonna let you answer it.
Um what are the true characteristics of a good leader?
Go ahead.
If we're talking about church wise, I truly believe that the good shepherd and the right shepherd for you will be a shepherd with a servant's heart. If you have a shepherd that has a servant's heart, you'll never go wrong because
Absolutely.
that shepherd more than likely lives, breathes, eat what they preach to you about. And so, um, and they are so, what's the word I'm looking for? So delicately to take care of your soul, kind of in a way that your soul is more important than anything else they got going on. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, life is life, but as far as them being a shepherd over your soul, that's gravely important to them. And so that's the main characteristics of a good spiritual leader. Now, if we're just talking about a leader in the natural, integrity, honesty. I mean, there's a whole lot of traits of a good leader that we could talk about. Um, it just depends on. I need you to be more specific.
and
So, 'cause
and
I think that you're talking about on this in a spiritual nature. Um, and yeah, I mean, if you've been following us for a while, you already know that I've been under leaders before that shouldn't have been leaders.
and can I
So,
say a good leader also has to be a follower.
yeah,
If the leader is not a follower or not willing to get his hands dirty and always want to not delegate the things that they can do, um and use them as teachable moments, then they're not good leaders. For example, I'm in the healthcare field. You have nurses that won't even answer a call light because they feel like, oh, I've been there, I done that. No, you don't forget where you came from. You never forget where you came from, because you can use that to teach somebody that's in a lower position than you. Um, Spiritually, just like Coco said, that leader still has to have integrity. That leader has to have compassion. That leader has to have passion. That leader has to be a visionary and know how to implement the vision. Um, that leader can't just be, and that's corporately and spiritually. It can't just be in position and don't know where he's taking the people.
yeah. Now, a leader without a vision is dangerous.
Yes, without a
And
vision,
that's
people
just
perish.
honest. I mean, I'm gonna say that I'm honestly glad I've never had that. I ain't never
Hmm.
sat under that at all. Even with some of the leaders that I may feel like didn't lead in the proper way. They still had a vision though. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? If you are a leader with no vision, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Ooh,
I just
finesse,
feel
finesse, finesse.
yes, so no. How do you all speak religion without coming off pushy? Like if you and the person disagree on the topic.
Can I
Um,
can I
I
say
mean
this?
that's easily done.
Mm-hmm. It's not just, it's not just in the spiritual, it's in the natural too. You
Mhm.
should be able to agree to disagree. There should never be a time where you're coming off pushy, because we don't debate religion anyway. What you believe and what I believe, it could be two different things, and that's okay. I'm
Right.
not trying to convert you. God converts the people, not me. It's not up to me. I want you to serve who you gonna serve, and I'm gonna serve who I'm gonna serve, because the proof is in the pudding when it comes to me. And
Right.
I trust God. I'm always gonna trust God. And all I can say is try him for yourself and keep it moving.
Right.
I'm never gonna come across pushy when it comes to religion, because God, he don't
And
force you
to
to do anything.
catch the word that you chose in that religion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's no coming out pushy when I talk about God.
Mm-mm.
'Cause I ain't gotta be pushy to talk about him.
Not at all.
When you do some people when you get involved in these conversations talking about the difference in religion, those can go left real quick because everybody is strong and quick to want to say, "Oh, you ragging on my religion." First of all, you ain't supposed to be religious in the first place. Let's go there. You know what I mean? And so if you feel like somebody ragging on your religion, then maybe they really are.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so um yeah, it's
And
not up for debate.
it's not. And then we had people that came up here that were dealing with
Muslim,
different religions.
We had people
And
that was Muslim.
yes,
We had people that
Buddha,
were Wiccans.
yes.
Uh,
Um,
some of
but
everything really.
because they tried these religions, and they realized it was not for them, the Lord converted them and they're happy now. So, and God is doing great things in their life. So it's a blessing. When some people have tried other religions and then they come to us and we're like, well, go ahead and try them. Because obviously you've already been thinking about it. You've already been making your way. And somebody already planted a seed and now we're watering it. And God is gonna allow it to blossom. So it's a
Yep.
blessing um to see people convert. But I am not the one to convert you. So
No.
yeah. Next question.
Okay. This one, I guess, kind of catty corners with the other one, but it's from a totally different person.
Hmm.
Is it easy to have a conversation with an atheist?
Yep.
Yes and no.
Depends on what you're talking about.
Um, the reason why I say yes, a conversation is a conversation.
Hmm.
The reason why I can say no is where the conversation goes.
Hmm.
If you have one of those atheists that's the I just hate him speech kind of situation, well, the problem with that, sir or ma'am, that statement is you can't hate somebody that you say you didn't know.
That part.
And so at one point you had to know him in order
Hmm.
to try to hate him.
Hmm.
And then the conversation goes to something else when you start having that part of the conversation. So you bring them back to I knew you, I left you because you didn't do something I asked situation.
Hmm.
I watched the interview with a man who considered himself to be an atheist. He said, no matter where I turned and no matter where I went, everybody came back to the reference of Jesus Christ. He said, so no matter how much I tried to outrun him, I couldn't. He said, so the one person that highly esteems itself, Jesus Christ. So no matter where I went, he was still in my face. I couldn't outrun him. He said, so you know what I did? I chose to acknowledge him too. I thought that was the funniest thing. But it 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 took him back to his first love because everywhere he went, he was still seeing Jesus. Everywhere he went, somebody was talking Jesus, no matter what the religion may have been. And so he said, I couldn't outrun him. So I just decided I might as well follow you too again and follow you the right way this time. And so, you know, atheist conversations can be very interesting, to say the least. So they don't have to be bad and they don't have to go left field.
It really don't. My encounter with the atheist, it was a patient of mine, and I would play gospel music all the time. And as long as I was taking care of him, he was fine. But when I played the gospel music, he would get upset. And he'd be like, that's just a bunch of noise. But the more I did it, the more he wanted to hear it. And it got to the point where I would have to leave my phone on the table while he ate, while I went and did whatever I had to do so he can listen to the gospel music. And before he passed, the nurse was like, let me find out that you done converted this man. He was talking about going to revivals with me. He wanting to go to church. He wanting to do it all. She was like, he was atheist.
That's why
And
I said
now he
don't
wants
mess
to go
with
to
the
church.
girl.
So God does his own work.
Yeah. You
And it's a
you
blessing.
you just have to live your life.
Yes.
Like I
And
said, every day your life speaks for itself. You
mm-hmm,
don't have to push God on nobody. You don't have to throw God on nobody. You ain't got to talk nobody into heaven nor hell, honey.
That's
At
right.
the end of the day, they either want them or they don't. And your life literally speaks for itself. Your
Yes.
life speaks more volumes to a person sometimes than more than the Bible do. And I'm
Yes.
gonna tell you the reason why I say that is because a lot of people don't pick the Bible up to read it.
That's right.
They rather look at you and how you living to see how the Bible playing itself out.
And
Why?
whoever
Because you say you the believer,
hmm and whoever
right?
just asked that question, what's your passion? And Sanette, what's your passion too? Because y'all up here.
Right. Y'all going there tonight. So it seems like this is where all the questions going.
Right.
Um, so you say, why do some oppose different beliefs being together like being married? Is it bad for a Jewish person to marry a Baptist? It's not bad for a Jewish person to marry a Baptist, but that's gonna be real rare for you to see. Um, because Jewish people are normally very firm in their beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that they choose to marry normally have to be the same way.
Right.
Same thing with like Muslim and Muslim. Very rare that you will see a Muslim with somebody else, but when you do, it's funny to watch because you got the Muslim that try to get the other person to do certain parts of their religion, like the eating part and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and not so much of like maybe like all the prayers and stuff like that. When they go on their fasting time, they'll ask the other person to fast with them so they don't feel so funny and out of sorts about it, and vice versa. Like Quint said, we've had a couple up here where one of them was Muslim and the other was Christian. It was funny to watch their relationship play out. Um,
It was a
um,
blessing to watch
to
it
watch their
because he
relationship
ended
play
up
out.
going to
Um,
Christianity,
yeah,
which was a
and so
blessing.
but I think in the sense that you're trying to make it kind of goes to the whole scripture or statement about being unequally yoked. That does not mean about you being with a person of a different religion.
Mm-mm.
When he talks about being unequally yoked, is if you're a believer but the person you with is not,
Right.
then you're unequally yoked.
And that
Not
person is
just
trying
because
to
of the
get you to
different,
do everything but be in the
yeah,
ministry.
not
Then
just because the other person is of a different religion or whatever.
mhm.
So, but yeah, it's not bad, but in your particular question or statement, normally you ain't gonna see a Jewish and a Baptist person together.
Right.
So yeah.
So, Sanette, what's your passion? And whoever we were talking to in the inbox, what's your passion?
Okay, well, I'm gonna give him time to answer that, and I'm gonna keep
And
going
go
to the
to the
next
next
question.
question. Okay.
Is everything church related or not? Well, if it is, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you feel like it's important to have leadership training? Yes.
Can you finish the question?
Yes. Do I feel like it's important to have different training classes for leadership? Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Because there are different parts of ministry. And so not all leaders know how to handle all parts of ministry.
And
Um,
not only
you
that,
got
if
some
you
you got some leaders that don't know how to don't deal with deliverance, that don't know anything about it. They know what they see, but they've not physically had to be a part of it. So yeah, training
is
is
important.
is important.
And if you came from another ministry, each leader does things
Wasn't
differently.
differently.
So a lot of times when you go to another church, that leader will tell you, well, forget everything you learned.
Yeah,
Baby, listen, don't ever forget everything you learn because a lot of times the leader don't know you, but you have to do things in the way
differently in the
in
house that you
in
just
the
put
house
yourself
that you're in. Yes, differently in the house that you're in.
in.
Um, God cultivated the gifts that you have. God gave you the gifts that you have. So don't ever allow a leader to force you to sit down on your gifts. And
And
once again,
a good leader most of the time will not,
right,
unless
they'll
you
recognize who you are, a good
yeah,
leader.
unless that leader really feels like you don't walk in that role.
Or, okay, I'm gonna just say or. And I'm gonna ain't nothing in the sky. I'm gonna just say or. What's your passion, baby? I'm gonna just leave it at or. There's nothing in the sky.
I was about to start singing Reading Rainbow. Anyway, um, we're gonna move on from that. Yep. But yes, leadership training classes I feel like are very important.
Did anyone answer their passion?
Um, Troy said can you kind of elaborate on exactly what you mean when you say passion?
Do you know what your purpose is? Do you know what you love doing? Do you know what you want to do? Do you have a goal? Like,
Okay. All right. So
is there anything in your heart that you want to do that
don't say
you
it like that because you're trying to make the man feel like you're riding a yellow bus. Stop it. Um,
he asked me
um,
to break it down? I thought the question was so mandatory. Helping folk like
okay.
education, community
He
service work.
said,
Okay.
okay, he said that his thing is youth.
Okay.
Um, he just has a heart and that's where his strong suits are is mentoring to youth. He said the reason why is he knows what it's like to be a youth in need, and when he became an adult, he said that was his goal to change.
Okay, awesome. So how are you implementing this goal?
Right now, he's starting a Big Brothers mentorship program where he is, and he's working on trying to start his own uh youth center.
That is a blessing. So make sure you give us your information and let us know when you want to come up here so we can talk to you.
Yeah,
Or you can tell us about your ministry because
what you
that
trying to
in
do?
itself is a blessing. And we need more of those. Where are you located?
Congratulations, congratulations. Uh, Sharon said, "Was Sharon? Um,
Sinette?
honey, I don't know if that's an actual passion, baby.
Sinette? Who you talking
No,
about?
no, Sharon. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
Sharon said. Her passion was being her. I don't. Sharon, that's
Is that you knowing you, or that's not actually a passion?
yeah.
Um,
That's
is
what I
that
just
you
said.
getting to know you, or you figuring out who you are,
That's what I
or
just said.
is it just
That's
being you?
your passion. You being you ain't a
Because you're you all the time,
yeah.
unless you just didn't know who you were and you're having a great time getting to know you.
Did you
Um,
have an epiphany about yourself?
Coco.
What? What? I'm serious. I mean, I'm just saying. Did you did you
No,
have an
because
epiphany?
I can understand where she coming from if she lost herself. Because sometimes we lose ourselves in our circumstance, and we have to reintroduce ourselves and get to know ourselves all over again. If she's talking at that aspect and her passion is getting to know herself, okay, baby. Well,
No.
mm,
She said my strong suit is me being me. That's not a passion.
that's not a passion.
Yeah. That's just a characteristic trait.
So, what do you love about you?
Yeah. What does Sharon do that's wonderful and an asset and a great impact to the world?
And Sonette said, helping folk like education, community service, and work. And what are you doing to implement that passion, Sonette?
Be a
And
letter.
once again, I want y'all to mail a letter to yourself talking about your why. And when you ready to give up, open it because I want you to remember why you can't quit.
She telling y'all to mail it. I would just write it and seal it. Because I ain't finna pay for posters to myself.
You know
So
what?
I'm just saying. I would write
They
it
can
and
afford 80 cents or 40 cents. It's snail mail. I ain't say overnight it. I said mail it. Get a stamp. Ground
seal.
service. Put it in the mailbox.
Okay, we gonna move on while folks still answering her question. Okay. Who is the oldest between you and Quint?
Her.
Quint.
Coco is the little big sister. Who do you think is the oldest?
Said they always wanted to know because I act like I'm the oldest.
Oh, it's Coco.
By age, it would be Quint. Okay. I guess by whatever y'all want to call it, I act like I'm the oldest all the time, I guess.
Are you trying to say I'm immature?
See, I did not listen. This is between you and a quitters. Okay.
Are you trying to say I act like a kid? Am I a spoiled brat? Are you trying to say I act like a baby? Huh? Huh? Because I'm all those things. I am a spoiled brat.
Okay, so let's say with kids helping them to get to college, a job, NY senior neighbors.
What's that? You
Good
know it's
benefit
true.
of folks.
So that you know it's true. I am a spoiled brat. Always have been.
Okay, next question. Are you truly able to get remarried even after divorce if your first spouse isn't dead?
Why wouldn't you be? You divorced them. You single.
Okay, by law, the answer would be yes.
Don't
Um,
bring it to the Bible. Yes. Yes, you are.
so
Leave it. Next
that's where they
question.
going. I know that's where they going. I know that's where they going.
I know,
Um,
and we not going there. We not going there. Look
by
up your
law,
own.
yes. All right. Okay. Biblical terms.
Oh God. Here you go.
Biblical terms. In that case, it's a whole lot of new folks that shouldn't be married. All right.
And in biblical terms, it depends on what you
On
got
what?
divorced
Yeah, what
for.
you got divorced for? Yeah. Adultery. That would be
Yes.
it. Yeah.
So what was the divorce for? Did you just grow apart and you didn't want to be married anymore? Or did they commit adultery or have a whole secret family? Or was it an abusive relationship? Coco,
They
your
their
feelings.
exact words was, "I was bored."
So you cheated. You
They
cheated.
said they was bored when they got married to the first person.
So what was your reason for divorce? You was bored when you got married. Why did you divorce him?
That they should have never been married in the first place.
Is that what she said?
Yep.
Well, then no, you can't go get yeah. Yes, you can still go get married, but biblically, go with the law, baby. Go with the law. And make sure you don't get married again because you're bored. And because the person is truly in love with you and you're in love with them and y'all good together and y'all gonna grow together and y'all gonna build and y'all gonna love each other and y'all gonna prosper together and be a power couple
If
and y'all
if
gonna
you
serve the Lord
if
together.
you're bored, go get a cat or something.
I got some kids over here for you to play with if you're bored. So
Go buy a game system or something.
yeah,
Yeah, something.
that's
Um,
not it.
that was yeah. Watch your decision making. How about that? Um,
Oh, this is really good, Sinette. This is really good.
yeah, that's good. Personal resources. Yep.
Hmm. See, it ain't me this time, Sinette. It's Coco.
I'm just saying.
And
Okay, next. Um,
what's your passion for the bored person?
I love to present different types of art to the world to show people that using your talents is a true gift. That's what they say.
Okay, we would love to have you up here also.
Yeah, art is a good thing.
Yes.
You know, you was gonna make me ask you a whole nother question because you just said that you a whole artist. I'm just trying to figure out how you got bored.
I was getting ready to ask that question too, but I changed my mind.
Yeah, I'm just saying. You a whole live artist. How you get bored?
You
Anyway,
got so much to be creative with.
right. You ain't gotta answer that
Were
question.
you bored or were you lonely?
I think that's more so it because you can't be bored being an artist. Boredom normally takes you to go make art.
And if you get bored again being an artist, go watch the movie Coyote Ugly. Okay?
Why of all movies did you
I
pick that?
love that movie.
Why of all movies did that have to be it?
Because remember when the guy he did some of everything, including art. So it's gonna give you some creative ideas. Go clean some fish or something. Like
What?
do
See,
something different.
I told you to go get a cat. She told you to go clean fish. I don't.
Do
How?
something different.
How
He
do we get to this part of this? What? Okay, never mind. Next, what are you and Quint's favorite foods?
ravioli and pizza and French fries.
Mine is
Shh. What? I want a sandwich. Thank you. I'm sorry.
when the butler come back. Tell him I said hey. Um,
Okay.
okay, you know. Um, mine is anything Italian, but pizza is my favorite. I do that mainly because they don't know about it, and I'm not old enough for stuff. I'm moving like a social worker.
Awesome,
Okay, I
baby.
mean, being a resource tower is a good thing. Yeah, so ain't nothing wrong with that, Sonette.
Who asked us the question about our food?
Tracy.
And Tracy, if you ever watched the show, our show, I categorize people in food. If you're not pizza or a French fry in my life, then most of the time you don't matter. But that's just me, and they have to. Shh, too. And they have to stop me from eating ravioli because it's not good for me. So I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
weird like that. But what's
You
your
just,
passion, Tracy?
you just had to ask that question, Tracy. Thank you. Um, while you're taking the time to answer her question, we're going to move forward. Have either of you ever been the side chick?
Yes.
And if so, how did you handle it?
Well, when I was a side chick, it's because I wanted to be. So I played my position. It was what it was. I choose not to now because I choose to be the main, and I refuse to be anybody's side anything. I know my worth. I know who I am, and it was fun back then. I was young.
In my case, I didn't know I was a side chick. They led me on to think that I was the main. When I found out I was a side chick, I went about my business because I don't play second fiddle. Not my place. So, yeah, no.
And see, back then I didn't want to be nobody's first. I got my wardrobes. I got the things I wanted, and it was fun. I was vain. Call it what you want.
Miss Annette say, "Are you still picky-ish?"
Am I still picky-ish, Coco?
She petty, Sanette. Is she picky-ish? She is petty Betty on steroids. Sanette. When
I'm
she
not.
wants to be.
When I want to be, you have to bring me to be there to be petty. Well, not always. Sometimes she just come out. I try to keep her bottled up though, y'all. I'm getting better. Thank you, Mr. Butler. You're welcome. Appreciate you. Did y'all put some mustard on it? Yes. Oh, she's the best. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Y'all, that's my grandson. Enjoy. Thank you. And Auntie Coco said hi. Hi, Auntie Coco.
Hi, Booskies.
You
Y'all
won't
don't
tell what today.
y'all don't understand. Y'all really don't understand. A couple years ago, he wouldn't even talk, y'all. Like for real, for real. So for all of that to be coming out the side of his throat, yeah.
Sinette, what won't you tell?
See, she opening up doors and stuff. I ain't even going there, y'all. She did this on her own. We gonna keep going to this question over here. Okay.
Did I ask the other person what their passion is?
Yeah, still waiting for a response for that. Um, I don't know if we should be offended to you.
Sinette. We not talking about those.
I don't know if we should be offended to you asking this question like this. I don't even know if I can really ask it and answer it on air.
Okay, what's the question?
Okay. Same person that asked about have you ever been a side chick? If so, how did you handle it? Say, well, have you ever been the 3-letter word? If so,
Wow.
if so, how was it?
Wow.
Are you bored? What
Are
y'all
you
say?
looking for one of those?
Are you bored?
I'm saying.
First of all, I ain't never been one.
No.
Second of all, if I would have been, I would have been gravely paid. Okay? Like if you're gonna do it, don't be a free one.
Right.
How about that?
But
Okay.
no, I have never.
Yeah.
I value myself too much, and it's too much out there.
Yeah.
So
Not doing
no.
that. Mm-mm. Hope
Um,
that's not what you're doing.
but what's your passion, and what do you do, and why are you asking these questions?
This is what I'm saying.
Are you looking for one?
Are
Are
you
you
currently
lonely?
one? Are you currently one and you're in between jobs? Did I say that out loud? I did that.
But no, I'm not offended by it. Are you going somewhere with
I'm
this? Because
saying, like,
if you're trying to get to a point, just go ahead and be firm. Because that's
right.
what we do. We firm.
Like, literally.
Right. Okay, Sinead.
That's like I said, Sinette. For real, for real. All jokes aside, boo, let's like for real.
Yeah, get to your
He
point
asked
just
you
to
what's
figure
your
out what
passion.
you're trying to ask. Because
He asked you what's your passion. I'm afraid to hear your answer. Because
I'm curious to know
why these particular questions?
if you're if you are currently one and you trying to come out and you wondering if we can assist. Um,
Like I said, I ain't mean to make it sound weird when I said it. Like, are you currently one and you're in between? Are you in between jobs?
are you running from that lifestyle? Do you want to
Mhm.
come out of that lifestyle? I mean, we're not here to judge. This is a safe environment. I like to have fun. Coco like to have fun. As y'all can see, I'm
Right.
silly. I enjoy myself. When I need to be serious, I get serious. But
That,
at this point, if you are trying to get to a point,
and you need help.
and I don't want to pull,
Yeah, we don't want to.
I don't want to go there tonight because we
I don't
can't.
want to be felt like I'm being made into a mind reader today. So
Yeah, no. So just ask what you're really trying to get to because you're going somewhere with this, and just tell us.
we'll wait because I know
Y'all
it's coming.
excuse me
We'll
because
come back to you. Um. Okay. I am a single father of two. I didn't know being a single parent could be so hard. I lost my wife to her cancer battle.
Jesus.
It seems to be one of the hardest things ever. It's hard to be strong for my babies because there are many days that I feel like I need somebody to be strong for me. I do not feel like I have actually had a chance to grieve yet because I had to step up into the role of being the only parent. Is there any advice you can give?
How long has it been? Let's start there. And two, have you had counseling? Um, and do you have someone that can maybe watch the babies so that you can have a little bit of time to yourself to grieve? Because everybody has to have a healing process. You can't just be strong for everybody else because eventually you're going to end up breaking. And I am so sorry to hear about your wife.
Recent, it's only been, she passed in August.
Wow.
Before that, we have been together almost 16 years.
Jesus.
She died on the morning of what would have been our 16th anniversary.
Mm.
My advice is even if you don't have anyone around that can give you a little breathing room from the kids. When the kids go down for the night, take the time. If you gotta cry it out, cry it out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Definitely, if you feel like counseling is okay for you, because some people don't, go get counseling. If you don't want to do counseling, I suggest you really improve your prayer life.
Mm-hmm.
If you are under a church, um, talk to your leader.
Definite.
Talk to your leader and let them know how you really feeling. Because if you're not saying anything, and I know that they don't think you okay, not since August. I'm
Mm-mm.
sure that's not the case. But you do have some people that don't like to pry when people are dealing with grief unless you are willing to be open to talk about it. And so talk to your leader if it's a option for you, you know.
Do you have a best friend that you can talk to?
Yeah, and get around the right set of friends that'll help pray you through it.
Mm-hmm.
That'll come and just sit with you. Y'all ain't even really gotta have a conversation. Y'all can sit in the living room, watch some television, listen to you talk. Nothing got to be said. Just that type of friend that'll just come and do that,
That's it.
you know. Um, but don't try to just do it alone.
And not a woman friend.
Yeah,
Make sure it's the male friend because you
yeah,
don't need anybody
yeah,
playing on your vulnerability at this
yeah.
point. You need to heal, and it's going to take some time.
Wow, yeah. And I'm very sorry for your loss. Yeah. I know it's rough. I'm sure. Um, and I could just imagine you having to
How
look
old
at
is your baby?
your kids and you see that side of her in them without her being there. So I can just imagine.
How old is the babies?
Twins, he said there are 7. Got young babies.
Yeah.
So
Even if you got to go sit in the tub and take some time, get your time in.
just never let them forget about her though.
Exactly.
Always, take the important times that y'all used to share as a family and still try to make those moments memorable. Because that'll be good for them and you. You know, um, it's different for everybody. Everybody grieves differently. Remember the good times. Always, always look at the photos of you and her, and just remember who she was in the moments before all of the illness. You want to remember her before the having to stay in the hospital and all that type of stuff. You
Hmm.
know, and I get it.
But don't try to wipe her out to the point where it's like, I understand it's hard, but some people try to erase the people once they're gone. And you don't want to do that because it's going to be hard for you and the children, and you're going to be angry. So,
He said that's the problem he's having with the in-laws. He's not trying to wipe her out. His in-laws is telling him to take her photos down so that the children won't keep asking when she's coming back and that type of stuff. But if that's what them babies got to do, you got to let them work their way through it.
exactly.
You don't. I'm glad that you're choosing not to listen to them,
Hmm.
and I know that it can be very irritating. And if you got to have respectable boundaries, and you still got to protect your peace right now.
That's right.
Just tell them how you feel and leave it there.
Yeah, that's 16 years. No.
I wouldn't. I mean, in August, and they're already telling you to take down photos.
Mm.
No, no, no. Too
You'll
soon.
know when it's time, and it may never be time.
Yeah, it's too
And
soon.
even if you was to end up with someone else, she should be able to understand.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a competition, but this is who I've been with for 16 years, and she's gone. So
Yeah.
they should understand.
So take all the time you need, but grieve though.
Hmm.
Grieve. Don't keep trying to keep this fortified front. Let's not do that
Yeah, no,
because that's not good for you, and it definitely ain't good for your babies.
that's right.
Like I said, when you put them down in the middle of the night at night, if you got to go in your room and cry it out, sit on the floor, cry it out, sitting
Do
on the
what you
floor.
gotta do. If while they're in school, you go to the
Yeah,
park and yell, scream, whatever
yeah,
you gotta do, take your time.
yeah. And I know, yeah, being a single parent is something, ain't it?
Hmm.
Yeah. Now I know I'm sure that you never felt like this would be what you would be doing right now. That you and her would be raising them together and watching them grow. Um, and I'm sure, since you say you got twin girls, I'm sure every time you look at them, that's who you see.
Hmm.
And so I know it makes it even harder to grieve. But just remember, she left you pieces of her, a part of her that you'll never forget. You'll never forget it anyway. 16 years, long time.
Hmm.
So do what you got to do, hun. And take your time to grieve. Don't try to grieve quick because it's not a quick process.
Nowhere near.
Um, wow. Okay. You have what is it? Lorette. You have Lorette, which is the one that was asking all the questions. The other
Okay.
question, who
Okay.
said her passion, her her drive per se is to just become a better person.
Okay. Is this the one that said her passion is loving her?
No, that's the one that asked the 3 letter question
Oh,
person.
okay. So your passion is to become a better person. How are you implementing that? And you still didn't answer my other questions.
Trying to change, trying to change. Excuse me, y'all.
Cut
Trying
that
to
out.
change. I told you I was tired. Trying to change my, trying to change my circle and my surroundings.
Okay. I got a feeling what your circle and surroundings is like. However, how are you doing that? Because you're using a word that I know if y'all been watching for a long time, I always say trying is a cop out. Just do it. So, how are you? I'm going to use your word trying. Or why are you trying instead of just doing it?
Right now, I'm working on trying. There's a
Here's
word
that word
again, but
again.
right now I'm working on trying to move.
Okay. So, you're staying with someone.
The guy I've been with for the last 4 years.
Hmm. So he
Okay.
got you out
I
there.
guess
So,
you just want us to go there tonight. So
so the
let's
guy
go.
that you're with got you out there, and you trying to get away.
You just took the word right out of my mouth. Okay, so when you go there, that tells us a yes. When you say I cannot confirm nor deny, you know exactly what you mean.
Hmm.
So, okay. If you want real help, send the information as to where you are. Um, I'll get information that you need in the area where you are to be able to get out of that situation. All right. Now, and I'm gonna leave that there because I'm not
Yes,
doing
we're
that.
gonna leave that
I'm
there
not doing
because
that tonight, and we about to get off it. So I'm not doing that tonight.
so. And once again, that's a if you really want the help. If you do not really want to get out of it because you keep saying you trying
Too long.
instead of just doing it, don't send the information. Just keep us updated on your situation so that we'll know you're okay. Because now you're in our spirit to pray. So let us know that you're okay, even if you check in every week and say, "It's me, I'm good, I'm okay, I'm still working on this," or "Can you really help me?" But you got to be ready because we
All
don't
right.
take this lightly.
No.
If you understand what My Life Has Destiny is about, we are advocates. This started because of domestic. So we believe in helping domestic warriors. Okay, I call y'all warriors because we both at one point in time went through some sort. And I'm using my words wisely because we stream to Facebook and other social media sites,
Yeah.
and they cause issues for us. So I'm using my words wisely. So if you can read between the line, we've both been through some stuff and we both became advocates. So if you really want help, we are willing to help. This is a safe place. Everything is confidential. And if you're in the areas that we are in, let us know that also.
If you're in one of the areas that we're in, it makes it easier to help. Because out of state, not saying that we can't help, but all we can do is get you the resource to get the help.
Right.
Um, so just let us know.
So we're not going to pull at you. We got the information that we knew you was going at already. Um, but we're not going to do that tonight. So we will be back again on Monday, 8:39 p.m. You have Coco's inbox. Inbox her. For those of you that know your passion, once again, write it down. Write a date to how write a date as to when you're going to start the process of implementing it or completing the process. Write a strategic plan and write your why. Seal the envelope, as Coco said, and put it somewhere. I say mail it. Because when that piece of mail come, you'll be done forgot that you mailed it. Don't open it
I got, I,
until
I got to go. I'm nauseated, y'all.
you're ready to give up. Okay?
Mhm.
And then you open that and you don't give up because giving up in this season is not an option.
Yeah.
So we're going to get off here.
We love
Welcome to
y'all.
Destin.
Y'all know the motto. We love y'all to live. We love y'all to life. Live every day on purpose and make it count. I'm sorry, y'all, but I just literally got very nauseated. We got to go.
Walk in your
We'll see
destiny,
y'all.
y'all.
See y'all Monday.